Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Okay, I'm going to start off with this Marlena storyline. I love Days, I really do. There's a lot of things that Days does that these soap operas need to take tips from, okay? They really do, especially when it comes towards GH. Because I always sit there and say they have the same amount of cast, but yet they use their cast so much better than GH. They really do. In this episode, everyone had a purpose. Everyone was there because they needed to be there. You don't really get to see that too often in GH. And that's what I like to call a compliment sandwich. But here's the thing with this whole Marlena storyline. We all know that she's going to die. Okay? It's going to happen. They are taking so long with this part that it's just it is frustrating, it is boring. It's like I'm sitting there looking at the time and I'm like, so it's not gonna be today, right? Was it so it's not gonna be yesterday, right? Was it gonna be tomorrow? Like I mean what are we doing? And here's the thing, I know it sounds like I'm being heartless, but let's be honest, this woman has been on the show for decades, and I mean decades upon decades upon decades. Okay, I I find it really hard to believe that they could sit there. Well, it's not something that they're saying that they can't do the show without him, because that could be the same thing with the actor that plays Stefano. But she's a main staple on the show. Okay, so we already know that she's not going anywhere. Even the scenes where you have Bella, reading a book to Marlena, and I'm just like, there's no emotional weight to it. If they was to sit there and do that with another character that we didn't know if they were going to live or die, then I can see it having a little bit more of an emotional impact. But knowing it's going to happen to a person who's been on the show for decades, even a scene like that just falls flat to me. Doesn't do anything for me. Um, when Sarah came in there and Sarah saved her from coding and stuff like that, you're at a point where you're like, it's going to happen. So it's like everything that they're trying to do to prolong this experience is just like, you know, I mean, come on, let us feel a little bit of an emotion. I mean, we're feeling a little bit of the emotional impact that Kristen did on those other two women. And now we're dragging this one out with Marlena. I don't, I don't understand why. I mean, I don't understand why she is the last to go between all of them, since they all got since they all got they got infected all at the same time. It just seems like it's kind of odd. I mean, she's been alive for like 2 weeks, or at least a whole nother week after them, if not longer. I don't know. I don't get it. And also, I think during the I was going to say the crossover, the collab with Brock and DC. I don't remember which one said something, but it's like if Sammy's not there, then we know this character is not saying goodbye. Okay, we just know this character is not saying goodbye. So again, it just adds to the emptiness or whatever this is supposed to be. Now, Brady and Allie are talking about Kristen and a confession, and Allie and Chanel, they've been binge watching on Law and Order because you gotta sit there and push those those NBC shows or whatever. But Brady was like, nope, guy's gonna sit there and testify, and it's gonna be a wrap. Um, Now, Kristen's not there telling. Here's the thing about Rachel. Rachel is a lot smarter than people give her, than the adults in her life give her credit for. And Kristen was not there trying to be like, oh, you know how it is with you and your friends sometimes, y'all don't talk to each other, y'all still love each other. And Rachel was like, yeah, but she's not my husband now. Right then and there, I was like, I feel bad for her. I mean, granted, I didn't like the way she was acting with Chloe, even though I don't like Chloe, but I feel bad for her because, um, like one of my subscribers, Becky D, says she's old enough to kind of realize that, well, Kristen ain't all that. Okay, mentally in her head, there's a lot of screws that's just they haven't been in place in a very long time, if they were even there to begin with. EJ is there and he tries to stop her, but Kristen's like, hey, you do this and I'll tell Stefan. I'm sitting there thinking, like, bro, how long are you gonna sit there and just let everyone sit there and hold that over your head? At some point, you should probably just, you know, get ahead of it. Tell Stefan and just work it out. You know, I don't get why he would go to jail for it. I get why he would probably lose the company. With Stefan and the shares and everything like that. But going to jail for what? I mean, he didn't know what was going on. He only found out about it afterwards. So what could he possibly go to jail for? And that's the thing. If this was just, he didn't want to lose the company and stuff like that or whatever, I'm like, bro, just tell the truth. Stop having these people sit there and dangle that over your head between Kristen and Johnny and Nicole. I mean, they're not going to say anything, but Shen, it's like, bro, the last thing you want to sit there and do is have a person like Shen hold anything over you, ever. But I don't get the whole jail time. Anyway, she's like, I'll tell. So he lets her go and he's sit there talking to, the painting of his father and Kristen and everything like that. Now, Kristen leaves, but they decide they gotta sit there and take a detour to get some clothes or whatever, which I'm just like, bro, you got money. You can sit there and buy a new set of clothes. Of course, Brady's right there because he got a call from Rafe and he checked on the babysitter, so he already know. And so when they're about to leave, Brady's right at the door. Jada and Rafe arrest her. She laughs because the thing about Kristen, and Kristen is like Carmen Sandiego. Okay, you may sit there and get her, but you're not gonna hold her. You're not gonna hold her. She got way too much power over certain people, and she's just smart and cunning and stuff like that when she needs to be. She ain't staying in jail. She might do a little stint, a little holding cell or whatever. They may bring back my girl, Melinda, which that'd be great. I know, the actress is doing like the podcast and stuff like that. I gotta check her out. Gotta check that chick out. But yeah, she's probably not gonna sit there and stay. Now John comes in there, and Eric is there. Eric has everyone pray. He has like what's it there say Will and what's it there say Eric. Eric, Will, um Brady wasn't there for the prayer, but Bella was there and Allie was there, so they all prayed. And John came in there to see her and see Marlena. Marlena was like, "I want to go home." You know, I forgot the word that they used. When they can't really sit there and take care of a patient anymore or do all the things that they can do. But I really do hate that word, though. I really do hate that word. I feel like that's a super big word to sit there and to try to explain something that's very daunting, very sad, and depressing. Something with a P, not that much. And if you've been watching Days on Peacock or whatever on the app, there's a picture of both of them on like a rooftop or whatever. So you know where this is gonna go. And I'm just like, yeah, we need to kind of we need to kind of like expedite this up a little bit because This whole drawn out thing is not really working for me. Um, I feel like that's about it for the most part. I mean, I think I kind of covered everything. This episode was it was good. It was good. It was good. It was a good episode. It was. Um, the emotional stuff didn't really work for me, but again, I've always sit there and talked about this before. I don't blame anyone for getting emotional because I understand that these are very emotional scenes. Just for me, knowing what I know, um, and just soap operas in general, they don't really do much for me. But besides that, all the other stuff was great. All the other stuff was great. Um, I think when Allie, I think it was Allie that cursed in the church. And it was like, oh, I'm sorry, or was it Brady? It was one of them. I'm sitting there thinking about the scene with Carly and Nina, and Nina called Carly the B word, and I was just like, well, this is after she called her a monster, and I was like, kind of fell a little bit flat, sweetheart. You want to try that again? And she had a little more oomph to it, so I was happy. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.